This time on Quest for the Open, I nearly quit.
It was tempting, I thought about it.
Play great at the event I'm hosting, and remember what episode we're on.
Pete hit the golf ball comfortably well enough to play professional golf at the highest level. I'd be happy to hit the ball as well as Pete hit it today. I think you're pretty good.
Well, I mean, how cool is that? If that doesn't inspire me, then I really don't know what will. Fortunately, I have many competitions coming up in which to prove my game and get ready for Open qualifying.
Today, further rainfall on the cards, some heavy, some persistent.
This has not worked out as we had planned. The UK has been rained on constantly since October last year, which has led to courses being decimated and competitions I was hoping to play cancelled. However, along with the PGA of Lancashire, we've managed to organise 5 Quest mini-series events leading up to June. These are events that we are sponsoring. We're putting up money for the first prize and just trying to get as many really good local pros playing as possible. The first one is here at Fleetwood Golf Club, and I literally cannot wait to play. However, I am nervous. Simon at the PGA Lancashire has organised these events, but I've put the money forward. I'm doing something which is not very comfortable. It's something which I've not done before like this, and anytime you do something new, it's always going to feel weird. Honestly, like, what if I have a shocker? Like, what if I play really badly? What if I just embarrass myself? You know what? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And this video is brought to you by my very good friends at ShotScope, the best distance measuring device company in the world. And with them in this video, we have a giveaway to announce for a new V5 watch. And to be in with a chance of winning that, make sure you like this video and be a subscriber to the channel. And stay tuned, because later in this video, I am going to be using the ShotScope data to analyze my round and explain exactly what went right and most likely what went awry. Whew, that could have gone anywhere in the world. Whew. Elliot, I've just got standing water and mud. Right. 48 yards into wind. We're at Fleetwood. Now, as you will notice there, I just held onto my back. It is subsequently come to light that my piriformis was in spasm, and that is a muscle or something, I wasn't quite clear, just above my gluteus maximus on the right hand side, which was impinging onto my sciatic, which is a big ass nerve which was causing my leg to feel like it had small electric volts going down it for the rest of the round. So that was fun.
Not quite TPC Myrtle Beach.
However, it wasn't actually affecting my swing, so that's fine. But also, I believe it came on because I didn't get to the golf course in time. So even though I managed to start okay, the actual build up to this event, we were late, kind of leaving Manchester, there was traffic, it took ages to get there. So I only arrived with about 20 minutes to spare until my tee time for the first 18-hole comp of the year of an event that I've kind of sponsored, that I really wanted to do well at. The preparation was not ideal.
That was a very nice kick. That was an exceptional kick.
And I think that's a sign and a really good reminder for all these events going forward that I just need to make sure that I'm fully prepared, that I'm fully ready, and I'm on point as I tee off, because there was no doubt that during these first few holes I was just trying to find like my swing, I was trying to find a feeling, and I wasn't quite sure where that ball was going to go. Fortunately, I managed to hit some decent shots, but it wasn't ideal, and a definite reminder about being better prepared.
Hold it, wind. Big.
So a note to self, more of a reminder, make sure you get there early, talk to myself in the third person, make sure you warm up and make sure that you are fully mentally prepared to play.
Wow. Nothing's a given today. Hold up. Oh, hello. I was caught in a wee bit of a scarify there, Emily. Absolutely myself over 18-inch ball. Whack! Go. Wow. No, I'm like, I should have learned from yours, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, well, it has to a bit.
Now, as we continue throughout the round, this may become a running theme. As you can see here, my drive on the 5th went yes, nothing to really brag about, 382 yards. Now, yes, it was downwind. Yes, the fairway was a little bit dry where it landed, but still 382 smackaroos is not too bad. But I only had a lob wedge remaining, and because the greens were really firm, because it was slightly downwind, I was trying to land it at the front, and it just came up short. And then this led to a 3-putt. It led to a bogey after being only 70 yards away from the stroke index 1 par 4. That is just not good enough, and it shows again that I need to work on that part of my game. My swing is looking all right. I've got decent distance control over most of my clubs, but actually out there in the elements, having control over where I'm landing my wedges is absolutely key. And these are the types of conditions I could be playing in open qualifying. You know, they're links courses. They are bound by the difficulty of the wind and the conditions. I'm not going to be guaranteed to have nice, predictable weather. It could be blowing at 30 miles an hour. It could be absolutely smashing down with rain. I need to make sure that I'm preparing myself for these types of events. So, you know, being out there, even though the conditions weren't ideal, and stay tuned because they're going to get worse, it's good preparation. Let's look at it that way.
.88 from 102 pin. Wind down here. Half of 54. Go, go! Ah, on a line! Sit down. Well, not the draw. Chunk and run. Yes. Jeez. Cheers. Wow. What day.
I didn't stand on it.
That was brutal. Mind you, held me out in the end with that lie. Right, some scoreable holes coming up. Hold it. Yeah. Not sure on that one. I'm not sure. Fortunately, that is out of bounds. Take line back there. Right, so tea I want to give away anyway. Whereabouts is it there? Right, so that's going to be the line. Oh wow, if you can feel the pain and the disappointment coming through the screen to wherever you are watching this in the world, then that is an accurate representation of how absolutely gutted and heartbroken I felt at this moment. I'm getting into a scoreable section of the golf course and I've just hit a tee shot out of bounds and I've hit my second tee shot, my third off the tee, into a bush and I've had to take a drop. Now, I must admit at this point, my head was a little bit scrambled. And as you can see with this iron shot, which was meant to be a layup, I almost hooked this out of bounds as well. It was actually quite near where I parked the car. And at that point, I will not lie to you, it did flash through my cerebrals that I should maybe just walk in and just not kind of continue with this round, because I was right on the edge. I was right on the edge of my comfort level, and really this feeling and this nonsense in many respects about trying to not embarrass myself when I'm out on the golf course, this event and filming these things. It was all just getting a little bit on top. I just felt it kind of rising in my chest somewhat. Managed to hit an okay shot onto the green, a slightly sketchy 2-putt, kind of wiggled a bit at the end with my par putt here. But this anxiety that I was feeling, it carried on to the next hole as well, which is a par 5, going into the back 9, should be able to attack. Now I knew from my notes beforehand, my preparation notes, that there was a lot of room on the left-hand side where I could miss. However, as the weather is warming up, the grass is growing a little bit and it's a lot thicker over that side than I thought. So we couldn't actually find the ball to begin with. And yet again, I was feeling gutted. I was feeling absolutely devastated. I was walking back to the tee. We'd only been looking for it for about a couple of minutes, and then I thought, well, I'll run back to the tee, let the guys carry on searching. Fortunately, they found it as I was halfway back there. So then I had to run back, and my heart rate was going. I just wasn't focused, and managed to hit a wedge up there. But again, poor approach. It was just, again, getting a little bit on top of me. I wasn't heeding the advice that Podreg was giving me about, taking it literally one shot at a time, not worrying about the results, just focusing on the process and then letting the result be what it may. Which is, again, easier said than done, but I wasn't able to do it in that little time period. And to drop 4 shots over 2 holes, both of which are par 5s, is not ideal.
Come on, don't let it slip.
Well, this is a coastal golf course in the United Kingdom, and the weather turned slightly foul. It had been pretty grim all day, so it had been like raining on and off. Obviously, the wind had been really strong, but now the rain started to come down a lot heavier. As a Brit, and specifically as an Englishman, we have very, very, very many different variations of rain. That cannot be understated. The raindrops that were coming down at Fleetwood, they were really, really fat. They were fat. And when they hit you, they kind of hurt because they were being pelted along at near enough 40 miles an hour by this point. So it was a bit grim. And to battle through this section and only drop 1 shot was actually not too bad. However, it also calmed me down. And it set me up for a little bit of a bounce back. Oh, and you.
Yes. Yeah, you might have seen a helicopter take off at Fleetwood if that had missed. Is that the first one? 60 yards. We're landing this short. 3/4 wedge. Jordan's ball. Just let it draw. I fassied that so badly. I always think there's like, it's very rare you hit a good fat shot. I think I might just hit the first good fat shot in history there. That was awful. Well, that was truly pants. Well, you know what, a bit of luck, why not? Why not? Come on. Talks to the trolley, not you guys. You guys just chill, it's fine, don't worry about it. Turn! God, good. What a performance. Right. Oh. Here we go, come on. Two good drives. Got wind? Didn't move. He's a hurricane off the left. Straight into the wind. About 4 right. You owed me.
It was about that time I actually learned of the score that was leading, which was 2 under by Phil Kelly. It goes to show, and you'll see the leaderboard at the end here, that out of all these pros, no one actually broke 70 around the 6,300 yard golf course. So that shows what the conditions were actually like and how tough they were.
Oh, to trudge the walk of a weary man who has nothing left but the will to go on. Terrible.
And we did get the rough end of the draw. There's no doubt about that. Going off last, we got the worst of the weather. So I do need to take that into the account. That's not making excuses. That's just how it was. So actually, to have that little bounce back, to restore a little bit of pride, it made me feel a lot more positive about the day. And this chip, this made me feel very good about myself.
Wow. That lie was horrendous as well. Sheesh. Fell in love with it. Fell in love with the line. No. I don't know, mate. That's like the hardest round I've played in. That's the hardest round of golf I've played in years. That was so hard. The only positive, literally the only positive, is that I didn't literally just walk in off the course after the ninth. Because it was tempting. It was tempting. I thought about it. But we carried on, we made it through.
You've got some birdies out there.
A couple. I'm shattered. I'm absolutely knackered.
You need soup now.
I need soup and coffee.
So let's have a look at some of the stats from the round, which, as mentioned, might be one of the hardest I've ever played in kind of competition conditions. This really shows a little bit about what the conditions were like. So this is my performance average on the round at Fleetwood. Now, my average drive here was 337 yards. So that's kind of like literally number one on the PGA Tour. However, I think we'll probably put that down to some of the drives being about 50 miles an hour downwind. So yeah, let's put that in context. And then when you compare it to my 8-iron average distance of 138 yards, which is normally 175, you get an idea of what we were dealing with. So sometimes you have to look at stats and understand the conditions that you played them in. So what I've done here is I've combined all my competitive rounds of 2024. Now this is wherever I've had a scorecard in my hands for 18 holes. So the Scratch Golfer Series, the competitions, the Q at Myrtle Beach, all this is in the 2024 competitive 18 rounds. And you can see here the strokes gained, which is a comparison against a Scratch baseline. I'm gaining 1.97 strokes on my tee shots against that Scratch Golfer baseline. Now that's excellent. That's really good. That shows me that I'm actually hitting it off the tee really well, especially with the driver. And even against a tour player, that's 0.14 shots lost. So I'm practically hitting it as good as an okay tour pro off the tee, which is great, you know, hitting it out of bounds aside. But that's a real positive with the driver. My approach play, again, this is the weakness, losing almost 1.2 strokes. Now, there's things I'm doing within my swing which I'm working on, which I'm grafting on, but realistically, especially at Fleetwood, I should have hit a lot more greens. I was putting myself in good positions. It was just not understanding yardages, not understanding winds, not understanding where to land it properly. And I think there's a couple of things that I learned from that. First of all, I do know my yardages, but these are all new golf clubs and a new golf ball moving into this season. It's going to take me time to adjust. I need to get out on the course more and actually understand not what I'm doing in the studio, but what I'm doing out on the course. So yes, I need to work on my technique. Yes, I need to grind and get better, but actually being on the golf course and understanding how that translates into a real world scenario is what I need to do more of. But it also means that throughout this year, during these competitive rounds, I've not actually shot on the par. I have had quite literally a glut, a litany, a plethora of rounds at about level and 1 over, but not getting under par. Now that obviously needs to change, and I'm confident that we're going to be able to do that. But again, what has really come through with this, that in competitive rounds, I do need to improve my mental game. And I know it doesn't seem like it with this round, but generally I actually feel that it's getting better. Like I've stabilized a lot. I think just going out of bounds was a real test there. And even though I didn't bounce back as quickly as I wanted to, you know, there were some pretty dark thoughts going on there for half an hour or so, came through it not too unscathed. Not too unscathed. So yes, it's something that I need to keep working on, and I will continue to do so. Now, we also mentioned about the chance to win a new ShotScope V5 watch. Now, to do so, simply follow these instructions. We're going to be doing the giveaway on social, so if you're not following us on these platforms, make sure you hop over there now. So there's a few more things ticked off the qualigraph, what I need to do to try and qualify for the Open. And if you do want to check out the rest of the series that's been going on so far in 2024, you can hit the links here.